if you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Kirk Cousins to Cleveland Browns rumor is one of those NFL storylines that refuses to die, no matter how many logical reasons arise to put it to bed. Despite Cleveland signing Joe Flacco and drafting 2 quarterbacks to compete in what's now a 4-man quarterback room, Cousins' name keeps circling back to the Browns. Most recently, Bleacher Report analyst Brent Sobleski reignited the speculation, listing the Browns as a potential landing spot for the veteran signal caller. And while the noise surrounding Cousins has quieted somewhat since his days as a top starter, the intrigue hasn't faded. The whispers were already loud when Atlanta benched him last year in favor of rookie Michael Penix Jr. That $180 million contract has weighed heavily on discussions, and if the Falcons are indeed open to absorbing the majority of that financial hit, it's no surprise Cleveland still gets mentioned as a plausible destination. The situation is far from settled. What's fascinating is how often Cousins is mentioned in connection with Cleveland despite everything signaling otherwise. After signing Flacco, a veteran who brought leadership and stability during a critical stretch, and selecting 2 new prospects in the NFL draft, most assumed the Browns had made their quarterback intentions clear. Yet Sobleski's reasoning is rooted in something deeper, the lack of a definitive long-term plan. He believes Cousins could serve as a bridge to something greater while giving the Browns a better chance to compete in the present. Cousins' familiarity with head coach Kevin Stefanski, whom he worked with in Minnesota, adds another layer to the intrigue. That chemistry might offer Cleveland a shortcut to cohesion, something that's invaluable when a team is trying to stay relevant in a cutthroat AFC North. Still, chemistry alone doesn't secure wins, and health questions around Cousins complicate the narrative significantly. The core of Sobleski's argument lies in Cleveland's hazy quarterback outlook beyond 2024. Flacco, while capable, is clearly not the future. The rookies are unknowns, and Deshaun Watson's injury history and inconsistencies make it hard to bet on him returning to Pro Bowl form. This leaves the Browns stuck in quarterback limbo. In that vacuum, a name like Cousins stands out. He represents known value, a quarterback who, when healthy, can distribute the ball efficiently, run an offense on time, and avoid costly mistakes. But even with that resume, the Browns brass has remained wary. The risk of bringing in another aging, injured quarterback with a massive salary is not a gamble they seem eager to make. And that's before you consider what it might cost in draft capital or roster talent to acquire him. If Atlanta truly is willing to give Cousins away for peanuts, maybe that changes the math. Perhaps Cleveland would entertain the idea if the Falcons agree to eat nearly all of his contract. Even then, it's far from a slam dunk. This isn't Madden. You can't plug and play a quarterback and expect instant results, especially not one coming off a season filled with injury setbacks and lost reps with his teammates. Cousins wouldn't be stepping into a familiar offensive system without some rust. It's also unclear what shape he is in post-rehab. Would the Cousins Cleveland gets be the same surgical passer who led efficient drives in Minnesota? Or would they be getting a lesser version of a quarterback who's trending downward? That gamble becomes even riskier when you consider the Browns' playoff hopes are anything but guaranteed this year. Then there's the leadership question. Joe Flacco won the locker room last season with poise, maturity, and just enough magic to spark a playoff run. Tossing him aside in favor of Cousins, who might not be viewed as a savior within the building, could create tension in a room that has fought hard for every inch of respect. Rookie quarterbacks also need reps, time, and patience to develop, and bringing in Cousins would eat into that process. If the Browns see 2025 as a transitional year with sights set on developing talent for 2026, giving those snaps to a veteran on borrowed time doesn't track with that vision. While a strong start to the season might pressure the front office to chase short-term success, that knee-jerk reaction could derail longer-term growth. The front office must decide whether they're building a contender or chasing stability. The only world in which a trade for Cousins makes real sense is one where the Browns begin the season hot, yet clearly lack elite quarterback play. If the defense is humming, the run game is strong, and the offensive line is dominating, but the team is still missing that extra edge at quarterback, Cousins could be the final piece to unlock their potential. Even then, it's a risky midseason pivot that could backfire. Trading for Cousins midseason would mean teaching him the playbook on the fly, integrating him with new personnel, and hoping for instant chemistry. That's a big ask for a quarterback who hasn't taken a meaningful snap in months. It's a gamble that assumes Cousins returns to form quickly and that Stefanski can replicate their prior success without delay. There's also the matter of Cleveland's timeline, which seems better suited to evaluation and planning than all-in aggression. The odds frankly lean against the Cousins trade actually materializing. The Browns' quarterback room may be crowded, but is filled with players who are either known to the system or young prospects worth evaluating. Flacco is the safe veteran, the rookies offer upside, and Watson, if he ever regains form, still has the highest ceiling. Cousins doesn't fit neatly into any of those categories. He's better than Flacco in theory, but not significantly enough to warrant the upheaval. He's not young nor cheap, and his injury history makes him a liability in a league where health equals opportunity. Cleveland has earned some goodwill with its recent roster decisions. Chasing Cousins could jeopardize that progress for marginal gains. A team walking the line between contender and rebuild can't afford to flinch, especially when there are multiple young quarterbacks waiting for a chance to prove themselves. As for Cousins, he may be growing restless. His comments in the Netflix series Quarterback hinted at dissatisfaction with his current role, and it's no secret he wants to start again. But the NFL isn't just about desire, it's about fit. Atlanta seems content to move on with Penix Jr., who has youth and potential on his side. Other QB-needy teams have moved in different directions, opting to develop young talent or embrace cheaper, more mobile options. Cousins, once seen as the safest pair of hands in the NFL, now finds himself at a crossroads. A potential Cleveland reunion with Stefanski is narratively appealing, but it's unclear whether it's strategically sound. If Cousins wants to start again, he may need to wait for a major injury or a desperate playoff team looking for experience down the stretch. For now, his path to Cleveland remains theoretical. In truth, the Browns' current approach, playing Flacco and evaluating rookies, is the smartest path forward. It's not flashy, and it certainly won't generate headlines like a Cousins trade would, but it gives the team control over their future. They aren't mortgaging assets or salary cap space, and they're allowing natural competition to determine who deserves the QB1 spot. Stability matters, especially in Cleveland, where quarterback drama has been the norm for far too long. Adding Cousins, even on favorable terms, reintroduces a layer of chaos the team has worked hard to avoid. That doesn't mean the idea is without merit. Cousins is still a capable NFL quarterback, but the timing feels wrong. Unless something drastically changes, it seems unlikely Cleveland will pull the trigger. Instead, all eyes should be on the development of their young guns and how far Flacco can carry them before passing the torch. At the end of the day, Kirk Cousins remains one of the most polarizing figures in the league, not because of his attitude, but because of what he represents. He's the line between good and great, stability and risk, past and future. For the Browns, embracing him means choosing the known over the unknown, the steady over the spectacular. But for a franchise still trying to find its identity, the unknown might be exactly what they need. Cleveland's roster is solid, its coaching staff is experienced, its fan base is starving for consistency. Adding Cousins feels like reaching backward instead of moving forward. Until the Browns find their franchise quarterback, rumors like this will continue to surface. But sometimes, the best decision is the one you don't make. Cousins may have his comeback story, but it's looking less and less likely that Cleveland will be a setting where it unfolds. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. In a moment that sent shockwaves through the sports world and social media alike, Elon Musk did what only Elon Musk could do. He tweeted, "I'm going to buy the Browns." Just 6 words, no context, no follow-up, no explanation. And yet, that single sentence lit a firestorm of speculation, panic, hope, laughter, and complete disbelief across NFL fandom. For years, Cleveland Browns fans have endured pain, heartbreak, and false dawns. So when one of the richest men in the world casually tweets that he might buy their franchise, emotions inevitably run wild. Is this just another one of Musk's infamous troll jobs? Or could the Browns, a team starved for long-term success, actually be on the verge of the most unexpected ownership shift in modern sports history? The possibilities are endless, and the internet isn't exactly known for taking this sort of thing lightly. Immediately after the tweet, Browns Twitter exploded. Fan pages started speculating about uniforms designed by Tesla engineers. Memes featuring Musk photoshopped in a Browns hoodie started making the rounds. Others imagined Dogecoin as the new currency for hot dogs at First Energy Stadium. Even the Shi'a most skeptical fans couldn't help but dream for a minute. What if this isn't just a joke? What if Elon Musk, the man behind SpaceX, Tesla, and Twitter, now X, actually throws his hat into the chaotic world of NFL ownership? It wouldn't be the first time Musk has entered a new industry with little background and completely disrupted it. His track record for innovation and risk-taking is unmatched. And let's face it, few franchises in professional sports have as much room for reinvention as the Cleveland Browns. The rumor had barely been up an hour, and already a wave of fantasy had begun to roll over the city of Cleveland. The NFL naturally hasn't commented. Ownership changes are a long and complex process, and the idea of someone as unorthodox as Musk entering the league would raise serious questions behind closed doors. Still, stranger things have happened. In fact, there's precedent for billionaire takeovers reshaping entire franchises. Just look at Steve Ballmer with the Clippers or David Tepper with the Panthers. But Musk? His influence spans tech, space, transportation, and even cryptocurrency. If he's serious about the Browns, the implications stretch far beyond football. It could be the dawn of a new NFL, one where Silicon Valley and Wall Street fight for control of America's most beloved sport. It could mean massive changes to how franchises are run, how fans engage, and how players are recruited. For now, though, it remains just a tweet. But when Elon Musk tweets, the world listens. And more importantly, sometimes the world changes. Some insiders claim this could be a strategy to pump attention to a new business venture. Others think it's a joke aimed at Browns fans, who are famously passionate and famously cursed. Still, there are whispers that Musk has been in exploratory talks with figures connected to NFL business circles. Could he be testing the waters? Seeing how the public might react to the idea of him owning a team. There's no doubt that buying the Browns would be pocket change for him. But NFL ownership isn't just about money. It's about power, reputation, and long-term strategy. If Musk truly wants to expand his empire into the world of sports, he would bring with him a level of spectacle the league has never seen. This isn't just a billionaire buying a team. This is the world's most memeable man entering a deeply traditional and tightly controlled league. That tension alone is enough to fuel speculation for weeks. Meanwhile, Browns fans are already envisioning the future. Could the Dawg Pound become the most technologically advanced section in the NFL? Would AI-controlled playbooks or Tesla-powered training facilities become the new norm in Cleveland? While it all sounds like science fiction, with Elon Musk, science. Fiction has a way of becoming science fact. Remember, this is the same man who said he'd colonize Mars, and then built rockets that actually returned to Earth on their own. So the idea of transforming an NFL team into a futuristic, analytics-driven powerhouse doesn't seem so far-fetched under his guidance. Cleveland has always been a city full of grit, resilience, some deep-rooted football tradition. A Musk-led. Browns could blend that blue-collar identity with Silicon Valley's daring innovation. And let's be honest, Browns fans would welcome any leader who can finally break their decades-long championship drought. What makes this rumor even juicier is how Elon thrives on unpredictability. One day he's challenging Mark Zuckerberg to a cage match. The next he's altering how millions interact with a social media platform. He tweets in riddles, announces major decisions on a whim, and leaves the public and investors guessing what's next. So when he says he wants to buy the Browns, you can't dismiss it outright. He's not the type to throw out a sentence just for laughs. Or maybe he is. That's the thing with Musk. Nobody ever really knows. He might be serious, or it might be performance art on a global scale. Either way, he's managed to hijack the sports news cycle without lifting a finger. For the NFL, this is both an opportunity and a nightmare. They love attention, but not the kind that disrupts their order. And with Musk, chaos often rides shotgun. While speculation grows, some analysts warn that NFL owners might not be so quick to let Musk into their exclusive club. The league values predictability and discretion, and Musk is neither. His controversial tweets, his clashes with regulators, and his ability to stir the pot might make the NFL nervous. They've rejected potential buyers before for much less. But if money talks, and in the NFL it always does, then Musk's staggering net worth could silence even the most hesitant of owners. Not to mention, the league is always looking for new markets, new audiences, and global reach. Musk, with his 180 million followers and cult-like fan base, could deliver that in spades. And if he were to promise stadium upgrades, next-gen fan experiences, and a social media revolution around the Browns brand, it might be too tempting for the league to ignore. Suddenly, Cleveland becomes the most talked about city in football. So, where do we go from here? The tweet is still up. No clarification, no deletion, just Elon Musk's digital fingerprint left on the Browns' legacy. Reporters are scrambling for insider scoops. Sports talk radio is losing its collective mind. Reddit threads are 300 comments, deep breaking down Musk's tweet history like it's the Dead Sea Scrolls. Is there a pattern? A hidden message? Did he mean the Browns football team or something else entirely? Maybe it was an autocorrect error. Maybe he meant Browns as in a breakfast food? That's the level of overthinking now. Because when Elon tweets, it's never just a tweet. It's an event. And if this is just the start of something bigger, we could be witnessing a bizarre chapter in NFL history unfolding in real time. Whether it ends in headlines or punchlines, one thing is certain. Elon Musk now lives rent-free in the minds of Browns Nation. Still, some fans are wary. They've been burned before. They've heard promises. They've seen new ownerships come in with big ideas, only to leave the team in worse shape. Could Musk be different? Or would this be another billionaire thinking he knows football better than football people? It's a fair concern. Being brilliant in tech doesn't automatically mean success in sports. But what makes this rumor compelling is that Musk doesn't just chase success. He chases legacy. Buying the Browns wouldn't just be a business decision. It would be an opportunity to become a hero in a city desperate for one. To turn a struggling franchise into a global brand. To reshape the NFL as we know it. Or maybe he'll lose interest next week and tweet about something else entirely. That's the madness of Elon. You never know. And that's why this rumor, whether real or not, has the entire football world watching. At the end of the day, the question remains, could Elon Musk really buy the Browns? Theoretically, yes, financially, easily. Legally, with some hurdles. Logistically, it would take months. Emotionally, Browns fans are already halfway in. Whether it's fantasy or foreshadowing, the idea has planted a seed. And in the NFL, perception often becomes reality. What started as a late-night tweet could spark meetings, strategy sessions, even real negotiations. The Browns may laugh it off today, but tomorrow they might be fielding calls from Musk's legal team. This is the new age of sports where tech titans and social media giants can shake the ground with a keystroke. And if this rumor has legs, the NFL may never be the same again. So buckle up, Browns fans. Whether it's a ride to Mars or just another Twitter roller coaster, when Elon Musk says something wild, the world listens. And sometimes it even comes true. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!